I keep seeing everyone with a TBR jar on Pinterest, on Bookstagram, Booktube, they're everywhere. So I figured I'd make my own. So I have this cute little jar. He is like a little hedgehog holding a strawberry, which is on brand. He's meant to be like a little drink container, but he's going to become my TBR jar because he's just been sitting around with no real purpose in life, and I think it's making him a bit sad. So let's make him into a TBR jar. So after scouring the internet for different prompts and trying to find different ones that kind of create a bit of a challenge rather than just something like read a romance or read a fantasy, I wanted something with a little bit of a challenge in them. I've come up with this list of prompts and I hope to add to it in the future as well, but I think there's some interesting ideas on here. I'm just going to use this old study planner that I have. It's all dated and I didn't really use it too much, so there's lots of empty pages, and I might as well, rather than just wasting paper that can be used for other things. So I was going to sit on the sofa, but actually I think sitting like this is actually comfier. I compiled all of the prompts and I've put them all into Notion, and I'm just going to write them out and then kind of rip them out of the paper, I think. The first one I have is a book with a one-word title. So like, I feel like this can be quite rare. So this one's kind of generic, but I feel like it will be interesting to do. I'm not even sure how to do this. Should I like grip each of these sections out maybe? Probably. That's probably a good way to do it. Then that will be evenly sized. That works. And then we have another relatively generic one, which is a book with a number in the title. I don't know if I have many like that have a number in the title, but I'm sure I do, and I'm sure that I can find one. Okay, and then we have a book that has been on your shelf for over a year. Do you know when you haven't written for anything on pen and paper for ages and your handwriting just looks atrocious? That's literally, I don't think I'm gonna be able to read that. Maybe I will. Okay. Like, do you see how bad this is? Anyway, I feel like part of the reason I want to do this prompt jar is because so many books have been on my TBR for years. I don't know how this has happened to me, but some books have been on my TBR for 12 years. Literally, I worked this out the other day. They've been on there for 12 years. Like, which, I mean, over a year is like nothing compared to that. So part of the reason I want to do this is to help me kind of get through some of the books that I still want to read them. Like this, I'm still interested in them. I just never get round to them for whatever reason. So I feel like if I put them in the prompt jar and then use the prompt jar as the kind of catalyst to read these books, I feel like that might work. And then the next one I have is a book from an author whose name starts with your first initial. So their name has to start with R. Which I think is that's a fun prompt. And then we have a book that intimidates you, because all of the ones that have been on there for ages all intimidate me. That's why they haven't been read. They either intimidate me or they are just not what I'm in the mood for at the moment. So that will help with that. A bestseller you missed out on. I feel like there's loads that I've missed out on over the years when I haven't been reading. Some that come to mind, what's it called? The Evelyn Hugo book. I have that, I've had that for ages, and I just have not read it. I think I was kind of halfway there for the hype, but I kind of missed it. Like when everyone was really hyped about it, I wasn't there. Like I bought it around that time and then I just never read it. And then the next one is a classic you've been avoiding, and I avoid many classics. I have a whole shelf of classics, and I feel like since I studied at uni, which was like ages ago, but like I kind of was off classics because I just read so many of them. But I really want to read some more. Like I think one of my reading goals this year was to read more, and I don't think I've read a single one yet. So we'll try and get that in. There's still 3 months of the year left, so we can try and get it in. And then the next one is a book about books or bookstores. I feel like I love books like this. I feel like books about books are just like perfect to get you out of any kind of reading slump, or just like it's just a good book to read all the time. I don't feel like you have to be particularly in a mood for it. You just kind of, if you love books, you love it. And then I have a book that was recommended to you by the algorithm. So I might try and like just, for this one, if I pull this one out, I might try and like just scroll on a different platform and then see like the first kind of book that I have and haven't read that comes up. I feel like I've seen people do this on Instagram and it looks fun, so I want to do that. And then the next one is a book with exactly 5 words in the title. Like, I must have a book like this, but none are coming to mind, so hopefully I do have some. And then I have one that I thought was really cool, and it's a book that reminds you of your favorite color. So like, it doesn't necessarily have to have the color in the title or in the cover, but it just reminds you of it. So something that like reminds me of the color pink, which is my favorite color. And then the next one I feel like will be really interesting, and it's a book that you DNF'd but still want to pick up and give another go. So I feel like sometimes I'll put books down, not because of I'm not enjoying them or they're bad, it's just because of I don't feel in the mood to read that book, or the writing style I'm not particularly in the mood for. So that will be good, because sometimes I'll put them down and then forget about them. And then the next one is pick a book that you don't remember buying, or you can't remember when you bought it. It'd probably be like one that I don't remember buying. I'm like, when did I buy this? When did I get this book? And like I said, it's probably going to be one of those books that have been on my shelf for ages, because it's been so long that I've forgot exactly when and where I would have bought them. Another one that I'm really guilty of is getting books in subscription boxes and then not reading them. The next one is an unread book from a book subscription box. I haven't got many subscription boxes because I usually find that I'm not always interested in them. I think I've read one or two. I think I've read two from subscription boxes that I've got. And I think they were like romances. I think it was an Ali Hazelwood and one by Amy Lee. They were both romances, and I both kind of like gave them like 3 stars. I think I gave them both 3 stars. And then I've got some other sci-fi fantasy ones, which I haven't read, but I feel like I like that genre more, and I usually give that genre higher ratings, so I don't know why I haven't read them. I think the Ali Hazelwood one was my first Ali Hazelwood, and I was excited to read it. And then the others are these ones, I think. I think I'm most excited for this one. It's the Emily Tesh book, which looks really good. It's got such a nice cover as well. And then my final prompt is to read a book from a series that you're currently reading. So I'm so guilty of picking up series and then not reading them, just like starting the first of it and then not continuing on and waiting like a year, and then it's been too long. I can't remember what's happened in it. So then it's just like, I don't want to continue on with the series because I've left it too long and I don't remember what's happened. I'm so guilty of doing that. So maybe picking this out of the prompt chart will make me do it. And then an extra one that I want to do is, there's a book that I've wanted to reread. I've wanted to reread Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell for so long, and I feel like I just never get around to doing it. So I think if I put it in here and then I pull out the prompt, I will have to get to it, and I will then finally do my reread of Fangirl. So it's just going to be Fangirl. I'm just writing Fangirl. There. All the prompts. Okay, I'm gonna try and just cut these. I don't know if I want like how many books I want to pick out from here, or how I really want to use this. I don't know if I want to use this as in like, I'll pick one every month to kind of like, to put one book on my TBR, or maybe it will be like the one book that I have to read that month, because I am very much a mood reader. So sometimes I'm just not in the mood to read things, but then if I do read it, if I get forced into reading it by a TBR jar, then I feel like it won't be too bad. I feel like if I get forced into it, then I probably will just do it and enjoy it, and it will just, you know, I won't be like, oh, I don't feel like it, because I've made it into a little bit of a challenge. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Study Planner, for your service. These are all the prompts. I'm not sure how to do it. I'm not sure how to fold them. I'll fold them in half and then in half again. And then if anyone else has a TBR jar and they have any other prompts that you think are interesting and fun, or any suggestions for like ones that you have, I feel like I don't have that many here. So if you have any, let me know, because I want to put more in here eventually. Maybe once I take one out, I'll try and put one in as well. So then it kind of like, it's never ending. Because I feel like I can see myself taking one out and then being like, oh, think of another one, and then forgetting to ever put one in. So if you have any kind of prompts that you think are fun, please let me know, and please leave it in the comments. Okay, they're kind of a bit too big, I think, actually. I might have to see that I can't scramble them. I'm gonna fold them again in half again, so they're smaller. I need to scrunch them up so they're not in any order because I didn't do a very good job of this. I think I've cut the paper too big as well. Okay, that looks better, I think. It's not filling up quite as much as well, and I might be able to like... Do you know what as well? I can't get my hand in the jar. Oh no, that's gonna be a problem. Okay. Let's make them even smaller. So let's make them like this size instead. And then I can sprinkle it out the jar rather than... Okay, done. So actually, I don't know if you can see that. They're small enough now that I can shake them up. So I feel like that's better, a lot better. And then I can kind of just like shake them like this. That would be better because I did not foresee this, but my hand doesn't fit in the jar, so I can't pick it. It has to kind of like come out in like a shuffle, which I feel like will be fine too. We can make do. I think I need to name my little TBR hedgehog, but I'm really bad with names. So usually I just call him like Hedgehog or Hedgie or something. But if you have any recommendations, he's a little hedgehog. He likes strawberries just like me, and he's very cute. So if you have any name recommendations, let me know as well. Perfect. I feel like I'm halfway through the month, so I'm probably not going to use it this month, but in November, at the end of the month, I'm gonna be picking something out of here. So that's exciting, and I have my own TBR jar now, which is so fun. If you have any TBR prompts that you particularly like, please leave them in the comments because I always want more to add in here. And yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed making this TBR jar with me, and I look forward to pulling a prompt from here in another video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more from me, then please subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Hopefully Mr. Hedgehog here will be helping us with a TBR. So thanks for watching. Bye.